Hi, everyone. My name is Loretta Friedrich, Creative Director of the Your Food Story Project and author of Your Canadian Food Story, Nourishing Stories and Recipes from Across Canada. I am so excited to be able to introduce to you one of the 113 contributors in this book. Welcome, Michelle.
Thank you very much, Loretta. It's great to be here.
It's so much fun, everyone, to be able to, like, some of these people I have not met face to face. And, it's just like this homecoming because I've been able to learn through these stories as they've been coming, or I've been working with the people to get them written, or sometimes I've interviewed folks and I've wrote the stories as well. And Michelle comes to us from a certain place in Canada, and I'll let you do that, no kidding, and then also a little bit about herself, etc. So, Michelle, why don't we start off with, where do you currently live? What community are you part of? And maybe why should we want to go there?
Well, I'm currently living in Moncton, New Brunswick, and actually I've lived here longer than I've lived anywhere, but originally am from St. John's, Newfoundland, and we spent 3 years in Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario as well. So I've kind of been from the East Coast to the middle of Canada and almost all the way back again. Moncton is a great place to come and visit. There's so many wonderful things in Moncton itself to be able to take part in. They're building a great new convention center downtown, which is going to be bringing in a lot of great sports and activities coming there. Oh, sorry, my phone is beeping. And also there's so many natural, wonderful natural attractions as well. The Hopewell Rocks with the highest tides in the world, where you can see the flower pot rocks and actually walk on the ocean floor. There's Magnetic Hill, which, draws your car backwards up the hill. And the Magnetic Hill Zoo and Magic Mountain. And then within just a half an hour of Moncton, there's Shediac, which is lovely beaches and wonderful seaside community. Fundy Park is only about an hour or so away. So Moncton is a great place to come and visit, to be able to see so many other things as well and take part in the great East Coast atmosphere.
Love it. I've had the pleasure a few years ago to visit some of the maritime provinces, and we just kind of sliced a little bit of a part of New Brunswick going from point A to point B. and so
Yes.
It's absolutely a necessity for a revisit to those beautiful provinces. And yes, definitely on the bucket list. It's not just something to say. And so you've invited us in to where you belong now. And speaking of belonging or drawing you in, what drew you to this food story project? It was a project to start off with, like this, of course, within the Canadian context, but what drew you to be part of it?
Well, as I said, I'm originally from Newfoundland. Food is a big thing. Hospitality is a big thing. And the tradition of having people in, you don't just have somebody come to your house in Newfoundland without giving them a cup of tea and, a sandwich or a lunch or, some sort of food. And then you keep feeding them until they, run away or, beat you away to make you stop. And just there's so many wonderful memories around food and how, a certain flavor, a certain smell, a certain food can trigger memories or have you connection with people in your past. And so to be able to take part in a project like this, to share food stories and to share stories of my family, particularly my mom in this case, it was an exciting thing to be able to share that with the world.
Love it. And speaking of that story, and where is it in this book?
Yay!
It is on page 246. So Michelle's story is on page 246, and then
Mm-hmm.
shares her mom's caramel squares
Yeah.
recipe on page 247. So that's in this book, and
Yeah.
it's just I can just feel the love of, and
Mm.
when you shared that story, I was there. I was there, though. There's another place I need to visit.
Yes,
Sure.
definitely. Yes. Yes.
And the warmth of the people, and just what you
Mm.
were describing, and I just love it. And that in itself, you were talking about senses, you were talking about food, and drawing yourself into that experience. If you had to pick a sense, one of the senses, like taste and touch and smell and things like that,
Mm.
what would be some one sense you could pick that really stimulates the interest in that food, or takes you back to those food memories or experiences, because we have lots of them?
Yeah, yeah. Well, I think first of all would be the smell of things cooking. In the case, the caramel squares, the buttery, sugary smell of the baking. There's lots of other great smells, especially from Newfoundland. The Jig's dinner, very distinctive smell.
Yes.
You feel like you're back home. Yes, see, back home. I'm still talking about back home in Newfoundland, even though I've been here in Moncton for 36 years now. So, and but yeah, it's those types of memories. I think smell is the first one to be able to really trigger, and then the taste. When you just bite into, especially again the caramel squares, you bite into those, to that crunchy top and the nice cake base on the bottom, just makes me feel connected to mom.
Oh, oh, I love that. And that definitely is nourishing you on so many levels.
Hmm.
There's that's that call back, or a validation of what you are, and
Hmm.
takes you to that present, and to be able to know that this is so important to be part of your future. And so it's not just that one time thing. And that's what this book is about, is to nourish us,
Yeah.
and to really understand what that word means. We're not looking at caloric content, or the necessarily the ingredients, or counting calories and things like
Hmm.
that. To understand how we can be nourished goes beyond just what that food that we're putting in our mouth is. And
Yeah.
so I love what you drew us into, in that experience. And so lots of food memories, and what I would love for you to do, because you are a multi-talented woman. So you're able to share a story with us, but you've got some other things that you do, like passions or projects or professions. Why don't you
Mm.
share a little bit about what you do now, and any links that we can follow, or follow you on any social media channels?
Well, right now, my renewed passion is writing. When I was quite young, I wrote a lot of stories in notebooks, and every piece of paper I could find, I was always jotting things down or reading other people's stories. So in the last year, just actually in November, I launched my own blog called This Whole Life. So you can find that on www.thiswholelife.ca. And also my Facebook page is This Whole Life as well. That has been a real, again, reconnecting with a passion that I had from my youth, and with the support of some friends who, particularly Ruth Ann Swanberg, who has her website is called Everything Unscripted, and she encouraged me to write some articles for her website last year, and I really, really love doing that. So she's encouraged me to write that, to get back into that kind of world. So that's been a great passion. Other than that, right now, I'm kind of in between. I was doing, did have a franchise in the health and wellness industry last year, but we decided to close that. Still have a passion with working with people and to help them to be their best selves. And so I'm still wanting to continue in that field, although probably in a different format. So right now I'm just doing some investigating to discernment, I guess. We're in a discernment process on how I want to do that in a way that is authentic and that values my values, and that is a good opportunity for other people to be able to grow about their own life experiences.
Wow, I love it. I love that you're you're taking that writing piece, recognizing its importance, and that transition of life,
Mm-hmm.
and that wisdom that, of course, that will always be there with us. And
Exactly.
someone who is absolutely self-aware, I know that of you,
Mm-hmm.
only bigger and better things. And so everyone with Michelle, she shared her heart here. She's being pretty vulnerable when she's telling us that, there are times where, no, okay, that is parked now.
Yeah.
And
tried that, didn't work, move
exactly.
on, Yeah.
And those experiences that we go through, that will definitely just, propel us forward into the next thing. So you will find Michelle's links, what she's mentioned today, her social channels, etc. And so you'll find it on this web page around the video. So you won't have to go far. You'll find information there, and then other information as well about Michelle, so we can get to know her better. And it will be always, as much as possible, updated so that you will be able to find her. And so I thank you, Michelle, for being with us today and sharing a little bit about yourself. And folks, Your Food Story, Your Canadian Food Story book is available for you to purchase. And you can find it. One of the fastest ways probably for anybody to be able to get their hands on it, no matter where you live in Canada or North America, the world, is through Amazon. So it is available on Amazon.com, Amazon.ca, and you can just type in Your Canadian Food Story and you should be able to get that link. You'll also find the links on this web page and in other spots on this website as well, so you'll be able to find it, and the list will grow because the distribution where it will be distributed will be added to, especially within some of the larger centers in Canada. So again, Michelle, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited to be part of this project and to share the stories of my family and some of our food traditions.
Love it. Well, we say bye for now, everyone. Please keep checking back to this website because you're just going to keep meeting more and more people from the book and others as well. Bye for now.
Bye-bye.